For a while, the idea of some type of Mario Party collection with a ton of popular minigames and some board maps appealed to me. What we got was a collection of minigames that doesn't really have boards. Is Mario Party the Top 100 truly a collection of the 100 best minigames? Or is it just a cash grab? If you think it's the latter, you're absolutely right. Back when this was announced in a Nintendo Direct, it quickly caught my interest, but what surprised me was that it was a 3DS game and not a Switch game. While it does irritate me when people whine about a game not being on Nintendo Switch, I feel like something like this would have made more sense on that console. I mean, all the minigames are from console Mario Party games, so... Anyways, last Christmas, my brother and I opened this up, he popped it into his 3DS, and I got Download Play ready on my own. Unfortunately, things didn't really go so well. We tried out one of the modes and it ran so painfully slow. To make things worse, an error occurred in the middle of it all. There shouldn't have been any issues. No game card or SD card was removed or anything like that, and we sat right next to each other. I ended up later trying this game out on my own. Was it a waste of time? Yes and no. It had its flaws and all, but I did enjoy the short time that I spent playing Mario Party the Top 100. After selecting a save file, the game presents you with several modes to choose from: 100 minigames, minigame island, minigame match, championship battles, decathlon, collection, and play with friends. I'm not going to bother explaining that last one since it should be obvious. 100 minigames is pretty much this game's free play mode. Several minigames are unlocked from the beginning, so you'll be able to try out some right away. What I do like about minigame free play is that you can choose how they're organized. By battle type, which Mario Party game they're from, what genre the game is, or just ones you marked as your favorites. You can even let it select a random minigame for you by hitting the auto button. However, the highest point in Top 100 would have to be Minigame Island. If you've played the original's Minigame Island or Mario Party 2's Minigame Roller Coaster thing, you should know what to expect. The player will go through a world map completing different levels, each one being a different minigame. It is through this mode that you can unlock minigames. Maybe it's because I enjoy unlocking stuff, but this is where I have the most fun with this game. In Minigame Match, you play on a board map like the one from Star Rush, so that means everyone goes at once. For a board map where everyone goes at once, it all moves pretty slowly. Each player takes turns by rolling dice and then at the same time choose where they'll move based off what they rolled. Like previous Mario Party games, certain spaces will trigger certain actions like getting items. To get minigames, they have to be triggered by the players, at least at first. I'm not so sure about later. Last time I played, it seemed to eventually play a minigame at the end of every turn. Whatever, I don't really care enough about this mode. The worst part about minigames is that you select a certain pack containing 5 minigames each when you start, which makes the game far less engaging because honestly, I would have liked the variety. In championship battles, you just have to go through a set of minigames in a best out of 3, 5, or 7. Decathlon is similar to how it was in Mario Party 7, in which you go through a set of minigames, getting the best score you can. What I like about these decathlon modes is that time minigames keep going until everyone loses, so you can keep going on track and yield while everyone else is wiped out. Suck it, losers! The last mode I'd like to talk about is the collection. There's not really a whole lot to it. The first thing is a series guide with information on the 10 previously released console Mario Party games, each having only a brief description. I mean, come on, I'd like to know how much they had to drink at these parties. There are also brief descriptions on previous Mario Party hosts, but only for Mario Party 3, 5, 6, 7, and 8. It's great that Best Girl Toadsworth is there and all, but what about the other hosts? How about Toad? Toad! Toad! Or the Yellow Toad! In the collection, you can also view a bit of information on the items available in the game, and there's even a place where you can listen to the game's music, and you can watch the credits if you've beaten Minigame Island. So far, I've been mostly positive because there are several things this collection has that I do like. The minigames it features seem to play well, and it has some minigames that I really like. It even introduced me to some I'd never had a chance to play before, like Mario Party 4's Bookstorm. So what exactly is the problem with this game? other than that single board map and its broken multiplayer. One of the biggest issues is the minigames that Nintendo chose to feature. First of all, it's uneven. With 10 games to take from, you'd think Top 100 would divide evenly and have 10 minigames from each game. But no. Some have a decent amount, but there are only 3 minigames for Mario Party 8. Mario Party 10 is in second place for least minigames with 4 to choose from. To make things worse, some are labeled incorrectly. A few minigames that were in the first Mario Party are labeled as Mario Party 2 minigames. Slot Car Derby, Bumper Balls, and Hand Car Havoc were all in the original Mario Party. You can't just label them as Mario Party 2 just because they were reused in that game. You're not going to hide the fact that another one of them was in Mario Party 1 by using the renamed and reskinned version from Mario Party 2. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Hexagon Heat, or should I say Mushroom Mix-Up with a different name? I'm honestly surprised that Bowser's Big Blast didn't get labeled as a Mario Party 4 minigame since that game did reuse it. It's not just how some are labeled. Some of the returns are just completely awful minigames, and some are even worse than their original. For example, I like Bumper Balls in the original games, but whether you like them originally or not, I'm sure most will agree the Top 100 version is even worse. It goes far too quickly for any fun to be had. Other bad choices for minigames include Tug-O-War, the one Nintendo had to issue out gloves for with the original because of the injuries it caused, Piranha's Pursuit, Desert Dash, Slot Car Derby, Roll Call, I legitimately almost cried tears of frustration when I found out this was in Top 100, Rockin' Raceway, Chip Shot Challenge, 3-Door Monty, Free Throw, Mario Speedwagons, Blame It on the Crane, Hide and Go Boom, Beach Volley Folly, Triple Jump, Snow World, Balloon Busters, Dart Attack, Crank to Rank, and Speeding Bullets is even worse in this version because of gyro controls, peer pressure, and pretty much anything that requires the player to mash buttons. While some of the minigames I felt were actually improved, it was more likely for a 3DS remake to end up being a downgrade. I know I'm not alone on this, but some different minigame choices would have made this much better. There are several I would have liked to see in some form. Where's Fun Run? Hide and Go Seek? Platform Peril? And a lot of other good minigames. Not only did they have poor minigame choices and label some incorrectly, they made one more major error with them. Some minigames play the wrong music. Music from a different Mario Party game. For example, the Mario Party 3 minigame Eats a Pizza plays a track from Mario Party 7. I mentioned earlier that some of the minigames were actually downgrades from the older versions, and the main reason for that is how they now control. Some were taken from the Wii and can't have the same kind of motion controls, so they obviously had to be changed. Making them non-motion controls without the chomp wash worked, but having gyro controls in one Mario Party 9 minigame makes it really difficult to enjoy. Despite these problems, I do appreciate the large selection of minigames. But you know what's not large? The selection of playable characters. Remember how it continued to grow? Ignoring the fact that we lost characters like Donkey Kong and Koopa Kid. From the GameCube era to the Wii era until ND Cube took over and Hudson Soft was no longer working on the series, Mario Party Top 100 only has 8 playable characters, and honestly, I really wish you could play as all characters from Mario Party 1 through 10. I get it might not work with the games chosen because DK minigames exist, but you could, not have DK minigames. In the end, I did get some enjoyment out of this mess. Sadly, once all the minigames are unlocked through Minigame Island, there isn't really much of a reason to come back to this game. So when you're done with it, give it away, burn it, or put it on your shelf to never be played again. Or if you have a digital copy, delete it from your home menu or just leave it there and never touch it again. It's entirely up to you. I wasn't a huge fan of it, and I liked how some of the minigames ran pretty well, but in the end, it feels like there isn't a whole lot to it. I've honestly lost interest in the game and don't really have any plans to return anytime soon.